Hello, in this video I'm showing y'all how I set up my journal. Actually, it's more like a planner, but for some reason I call it a journal. I tried to make it a journal in the beginning and that didn't stick, but the name did stick. So the materials that I use are highlighters. I have this wonderful ruler here. I think it's called a T-square ruler. I've got some washi tape for a little bit of decoration, and then some different pens that I'll be using to line everything up. So I'm just scooting everything to the side for right now. And before I get started with the journal, my new journal, this is my old journal. This is the very first one I started with. And the pages were really thin, so I needed to find a different journal, and I ended up doing that. But you can see that I kind of started a little kind of crazy, and then it became more organized. Like, this is a lot. I do like colors, so I have lots of colors incorporated, and I eventually wanted a task list. I'm showing you a modified version of this task list, which I use now to this day. And eventually, see, here are my little personalizations with the washi tape. Eventually, it just got nicer and nicer. It was more organized, and here I tried to keep a journal. This is a sketch that I started out, but the journal thing just really didn't work for me. I like the way this looks. I don't know. I have other books that I write in, and I mean, I have so many different books that I've written in. So basically it's just a weekly spread, and then there is a monthly spread. And then one thing that I really like about being able to make your own journal is, where is it? It's the future log. And oh, here it is. So I found out about a future log a little bit later, and basically it's the year at a glance. Have all the months here and the key things that are happening in each month. And I tried to do a productivity thing here. That didn't work out. Schedules are really not my thing, and which is why I like this, because I can kind of make it as I go. You'll see that I skipped some weeks, and even a whole month I think I skipped. And so you can just kind of hop right in instead of having to see that you skipped a whole month and then having like a thick blank of nothing, and it's just like wasted space. So yes, the scheduling didn't work for me, and I like the flexibility that this offers. I can customize it how I work and what works best for me. And this future log is amazing because it's my year at a glance, and I can just write things down, even though we're in December now, I haven't made January's list or January's section yet, but I can write down important events here in this future log. And so this is just, it's just a really easy way for me to do things. I also started something called collections, which didn't really stick. So there's an index for my collections, and in the back there's also an index for each of my weeks, which obviously didn't stick either. And I have it so that it's upside down, so that I'll start from this way, right? And so that I can work this way, but still work from this side going this way. I know that's pretty vague and kind of not very explicative, but yes, this is a collection of projects that I needed to do. And then this is some notes for my tarot deck that I'm creating. But, you know, having my notes all scattered everywhere just did not work for me. And that's what the index was supposed to help. But I would find that I wouldn't even do this, and then I would catch up doing it, and then it would be on my to-do list, and it was just not for me. So I took the index out. So this is my current journal, and I went a little bit bigger, and the paper is thicker. And here are some things that I thought that I would want to do. That didn't really work out for me either. So here's my future log. I put the birthdays on this side. That works great. Oh, this came out. Okay. All right. And so here is my year at a glance. I started this in May and I went through April. So I do like these dots here. The other one had, I think, a full page of dots, and then there was a half page of line and a half page of blank. But I do like the dots. It keeps me a little bit more organized. I can write a little bit better, but I'm not confined with lines. This, I can't remember what I reserved this space for. And then here is where my month starts. So I have a whole month that lines everything out. My events are color coordinated by person. I manage schedules for 4 people, me and my 3 kids. Sometimes I'll put my husband in here, but he kind of manages his own. And this is my task list. Okay. And so I took notes in here. And so that is that. So this task list actually evolved into this. I really like just a single line and having these little dots to show me what day of the week that this item should be done. And then I have a line over here that says to move it to my future log, or I can migrate it. It's called migration. You can migrate it over to the next week. So let's see. See, November, I skipped all of November. I went directly into December. So that was fine. And this is for work. That's my checklist for work. So I'm trying to show you. Okay, so here are some things that I had listed to do. Obviously, I didn't get to them, but I think I did. I just didn't mark it on here because these are all for work. But these arrows here indicate whether to put it over here on my future log. Like, I'm not too sure. I wasn't going to have time to revamp the financial statement structure. So instead of migrating it to the next week, I migrated it to the future log so that I could maybe work on it in December is when I've decided to put this down. So yes, that is that. Another thing that I recently did was I made Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday straight down this column, and then the weekend over here, because at first it was like this: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? Like that. And I found that I liked it better going down. So I do want to show you the other way to do this task list. You can do it with a full line, a full thick line of highlighter, which is just fine. But I like the way this is streamlined a little bit more. And here are some notes also that I took. I'm taking some astrology courses, and so I just put it in here. It was the quickest thing I could grab. Okay, so here's where I am now. This is last week, and I'm going to make this week. So what I was doing was putting a little quote and having a page for notes on this side. Okay, so it was a blank page, and this is what I'm using for my year-end notes. But that I just use it as a blank page. So this is what I did. I put a quote, and then here are my notes. And then here are some things I took for a YouTube video I think I watched. But generally, this notes section was supposed to be for notes about the week, what I'm doing. See, I have my moon listed, my new moon listed, and then X-ray location. And then I just started using it just for a notes section for videos and such. So what I'm going to do now is not use this for notes. I'm just going to use it for another weekly organization page. And what I do, how I start that out, is just start by counting the dots. Now, I thought I had a page that I had everything counted out. Oh, I do. So here it is. So I go 8 dots down, and then I make my line. So, but basically what I want to have it, I want it to be after the washi tape. So, I thought I was going to start some new washi tape, but I guess not. Look, these are such a cool color, but then I don't want to waste this space. So this will have to be for next week. I'm just going to put this back. I've got a nice little drawer here, just full of washi tapes. Yes, let's see, we got more. Oh, it won't come all the way up. Okay, so Let's put those back in there. And we will just continue with this. And then I had some colors picked out, these purple pens. But we'll just use blue. And I think I used this orange. Okay. All right. So that'll be easy for us. So basically I just count the dots. I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll start the dot here. So then there's 2 dots behind underneath this washi tape. But since I need this space here to write, I'm just going to do it here, obviously. And then that's where this ruler comes in handy, is because it lines up with the page and it just helps you stay sturdy. Now, usually, if I don't have this guide with me, no, I don't use pencil. I use pencil on the month. I'll use the pencil on the month, I'll sketch it out, and then I'll go over it in pen. But that's actually taken me a little bit longer than I need it to take. So I'm going to stop using the pencil and just going straight in with the pen. All right, and then... so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots in the middle. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me scoot this up so y'all can see. But luckily I've got this nice little guide from the previous weeks. But that's basically all I do, is I count the dots. And then I start drawing my lines and making the grids. So I am one of those people that has a lot going on, but I don't necessarily like to follow a schedule. I need to follow a schedule because of so many moving parts in my family. Let me see how far. So 18 dots in. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That seems like a lot, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to put it right there just because I think it seems like a lot. All right. Well, now I feel like I should do 18 over here. Let's see. No, I'm going to do it right here. It just doesn't seem equal to my eye. All right, so this always gets kind of tricky. There we go. That's washi tape. And let's see. So where is my pen? Yes, I'll use... So here I leave some room for notes for the week, and then I'll just write in this pen. You know, my kids have access to my stuff, and sometimes they leave the marker tops off. And no matter how many times I tell them. But I guess, you know, this one recovered, so I don't have to go busting heads. Okay, just kidding. I'm not going to bust heads over over a marker, but I do hate it when I don't have full sets. Okay, so today's the 11th. And you know, you don't have to get all, you know, with all these different colors. I just really like colors, and I like doing all of this stuff. I do really try to find ways to streamline it because sometimes I just don't have a lot of time to do this, which, like, I guess November was just one of those busy months where I couldn't, I don't know, I didn't have time to sit down and do this, but obviously I didn't really need to. So now what I do is then go to the month, and then I'll fill in what's going on here. And it is color coded. So we've got practice on Tuesday and a game on Friday. So then, how am I doing that? Oh, it's right here. So practice on Tuesday. And then game on Friday. Right. And oh, my daughter's color guard started up again, so I've got to put that in. And then we have practice. Where are we? 14 on Thursday and a game on Friday. And a game. Okay. CE, and then we have another practice in orange on Thursday. And we are fortunate enough to have 2 cars, so we can get these kids to where they need to go sometimes. We'll be going opposite directions. And then on a Wednesday, I have a client. So I am gray. Gray is such a good color. And also, we've got a new moon on Tuesday. So I have this little, I don't know where I got this from. I think a calendar, a hanging calendar, but it's the perfect little circle. And it also is magnetized to this, which I use this as sort of a little elevator for my keyboard. So my keyboard's at a slant. So I will put, there is a new moon right here. There we go. Okay. Practice. Oh, and this is my husband. He is yellow. He's got games on these days and then another game during the week, and that one switches, so I don't really write that down all the time. And then we've got color guard, which I will have to check my phone for that one. So, you'll just fill this in however, of course. You don't need to color code it, of course. You know, it's so, even my phone calendar is color coded. So we've got Monday color guard. Whoops. And then Wednesday color guard. And holiday what? Holiday band social. She's only got 2 practices this week. Okay. And then I guess I should write down the band social. Sometimes color guard doesn't get to go to those things. Okay, and so my Saturday and Sunday is free. That doesn't seem right. We probably have some practice. We do. Oh no, that's November. We've got practice on 16 and 17, and then the party. Okay, so 16 practice. Okay, so not all these things. Oh, why did I put it down there? Not all of these items I will be doing. As far as like my son's practice, my husband usually takes him. So what I do for that, just so I know what's going on, I put it on my calendar, but I will also notate it by a little triangle saying that that's what I am in charge of doing. So I pick up my daughter, I will take her to practice, I will pick her up from the band social, and then like I said, my son, my husband usually works with him and does all of that stuff. So I don't need to put a little triangle there. And here, after I've completed the task, I'll color in the triangle, or completed the event, I guess I should say, because my tasks are circles. And so here I had a training that I attended, and then I also did that. So see, sometimes I just kind of fall off of what I'm doing. And I do put notes over here. That's what this section is going to be for. I had this to let me know that there was a sale. Took advantage of that sale, by the way. And then down here is where I will put my task section. That's where, excuse me, this is all the things I need to do. So, for instance, excuse me about that. Last week, I was supposed to call about my daughter's 504, but since I didn't, I'm going to migrate that to this week. And so that's what this means. So this is my migration column. This means I'll either put it to the future log, which means I can take care of it next month, or I will migrate it to next week. So I'm going to put this here, and I will do that today. And I also need to migrate this one as well. And so, you know, obviously these aren't too important, and I am still waiting on this item. So I will send a reminder for him to send that to me. All right. And one thing, let's see, this section over here, which is just my book, my year-end close. I'm a bookkeeper. And so these are the things I need to do for my clients. But all of this stuff normally would be down here, but these are the things I need to do to close out the year. So I'm not going to clutter up my space over here. I don't know, I know you guys have probably seen this, but this is just a checklist for my month end. That just kind of keeps my month end in working order and making sure I do everything that needs to be done so I can close the books and get the financial statements out. And so I think I keep them back here. And so what I'll do is I'll just, yes, here they are. So I'll just tape them or glue stick them. Another thing I had that I never really picked up was I had this little these grid marker things, and it just kind of counts the dots for you. But it just, I don't know, it didn't really work out for me. I don't really use it. Take this water. I don't know what's going on with my throat. All right, so then after we get that all set up, we will do the task list, which is pretty simple. I just use highlighters. These highlighters are pretty cool. They're double-sided. I don't, however, like that these are so neon. Like, that's very neon. And, you know, these other ones aren't neon, you know. And anyway, that's just my little spiel. But this one's super neon. But they have this nice little slanted tip. Oh, it's not going to, I don't have it on autofocus. It has a nice little slanted tip, and then it has a bullet tip as well. So, I take off the autofocus because it does weird things sometimes, and I just wanted y'all to be able to see. Okay, oh yes, I'm getting out markers. I used this color, and I used blue, and I believe I used this teal here. I'm not exactly sure though. So maybe next time I'll do the 2 weeks in a row, depending on how much time I have. Okay, so in order to get this going using the dot system, I have one color for the migration, so I'll use the bullet tip. And I'll put a bullet here, a bullet little dot there, and then I'll just do, in between, I'll do rotating colors. This is 4, right? Yes, 4. And then one goes in the dot. Okay, I don't know if you guys got that, but I'll do that again. And then here I'll put the abbreviations for the weekday, and then up here is the date, the number date. And so I will just use this wonderful ruler. And I have it separated. This is for home and kids. This is the admin work I have to do for the business. This is one client, and this is the other client that I have. So I don't use the bullet tip for this. I actually use the slanted chisel tip. And so I won't go all the way down because I've got to save room for the bookkeeper admin. So I usually just go through and make all of my dots and then go through and make all of my lines. And then one thing that I have to remember to do is to clean my ruler, because I use all these markers and then they mark the other things, the other markers, and it gets them contaminated. So we'll just go down. Okay, so that's that one. We'll clean that off. And then we'll do the yellow. And I just do alternating colors because I find it keeps me a little bit more visually organized. Everything's not so jumbled up. And I do use these Pigma Sensei markers, depends. And this one is a 0.3 millimeter. That's like the thinnest one. And so that's what I use to write. So this is my future log. So the arrow pointing this way is my future, I'm sorry, this is my migration column. The arrow pointing this way goes to the future log, and the arrow pointing this way goes to the next week. And then here is Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. And the dates are 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And so then I will migrate anything over here that didn't get done. Ooh, I didn't pick up my ceramic either. My daughter and I did ceramics. So then I will migrate this and I will put in pick up ceramic. Don't have to do it this small though. And then I also need to call the school for 504. Okay, so if I don't have a date assigned to it, I'll just put this little dot here and I'll assign the date later. And then when I do want to assign a date, say like I will choose to pick up the ceramic today. Well, actually I'll do both of these today. So I'll move it over here. Okay, like that. And then when I finish a task, I'll just circle it. Can you see? I don't know if it's going to, it's not going to autofocus, but I do circle the dots whenever I finish. So here's a circle dot you might be able to see. Let's see, more circle dots. All of this stuff I didn't do anything. Oh my gosh, I'm telling on myself. So here's some things I completed. All these circle dots I completed. These I migrated to the next week. Yeah. And so I did at one point have a little sticky note in my old book, and I had a whole bunch of things. See, here are all of the little things that I had. I had task, task complete, task migrated, migrate, you know, all of these different things. And that was just way too much. And so I really like what I have now. And so you can just set up anything, make anything mean anything to you, however you want to do it. And I thought I had another one that I moved every week, but I guess I did not. Okay, and then that is it. So this book I got at a recent, a local store, and it's called Tinny and Mia. I put these stickers on. I had these stickers from the time I went to Hobby Lobby. It's actually supposed to go right there. And like I said, these pages were just really thin. We've got a lot of bleed through. So then I bought this online in like a clearance sale. Maisie Lane and Company. I don't think she's doing books anymore, these journals. I think she's doing washi tape though. That's where I got that washi tape from that I was going to use, I believe. But what I will say that this is coming apart. My my ribbon came out. There were two of these, and I just noticed it came out today. And it's just, I feel the binding is just coming apart, and maybe that's why she stopped making them or having them manufactured. But that is the way I set it up, and I will do this side over here, these two down here, and I will get those finished so that I can get my week organized. And if you have any questions, feel free to write it down in the box below and I will answer them. If not, good luck and happy organizing. Take care.